Hey, what's up guys, it's Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video, and I am joined now by KittyMeowser Gaming. Say hey.
Hello.
So we wanted to talk to you guys about Soulcalibur 6 topic that we were covering, but this is going to be part 2 of a video that we've already done part 1 of on her channel. So make sure if you're watching this, you press pause and you go over and you check out her channel first and watch that part before you move on to this, just to let you know. We wanted to talk about a little bit about Libra of Souls today, and why it's a snore fest, and why we don't play it, or why we tried to and failed. So I will let you start off with your reasoning for, or what you just think about the mode in general, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, yeah, so when I first got Soulcalibur, I was really excited, and also playing Soulcalibur 5, I had a completely different mindset when I started Soulcalibur 6, so when I went to Libra of Souls, what I originally thought the game mode was going to be, I thought it was going to be like, okay, I go into this game mode and I unlock more stuff for Creative Soul, right? And that didn't happen. So that was my first turn off. When I went into that mode, I tried to play it and I was like, okay, so this mode is literally for nothing outside of getting a few achievements and some money. Because I think you can like switch your gold over to actual like SP points.
Even though it costs mad gold in that actual mode to like even just move,
say, yeah,
so
it costs a stupid amount of gold to move as well as to transfer gold into SP points. So it's just like, okay, that's useless. But yeah, that was one big reason that I got really turned off of that mode. Is just like the fact that it costs a bunch of gold just to travel anywhere on the map, and the text dialogue was just awful. Like, I was like, are we ever actually gonna fight? Like, is this gonna continue? Because I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say that when the game first initially released, you didn't have the skip button option.
I don't believe you did.
Yeah, I could have sworn I'd like tried to skip it and I couldn't, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this right now. Like, this is just too boring for me.
And there's no autoplay feature either, so you can't. You're just like literally sitting there to press X, and it's not like the conversations are titillating. Like, they're very generic, like boring conversations. Like, it's definitely far and away from Giggerdot in Soulcalibur 3 trying to train up his baby birds. I'll tell you that for sure. Yeah, I felt like I was playing a tapping game at like some point where I'm just sitting there just pressing A as like rapidly as I could just to get through it. And then like I was a little surprised at the few times where you quote unquote get to like choose what you say, and I guess it decides whether you're evil or good, but that would have worked better if there was truly like more reasoning to that. For instance, I think the whole good or evil would have worked really well if for some reason, like what you brought up before with a past creation video talking about like bringing back the unique fighting styles from Soulcalibur 3, if they brought those fighting styles back for Libra of Souls to create your character with, and then would give us unique weapons, it would have been cool. Like, let's say you go through the whole Libra of Souls and you're evil. Well, you unlock your Soul Edge weapon. You go through it good, you unlock your Soulcalibur weapon. That would have given more incentive to actually play the game to unlock stuff, because that was the biggest reason to grind in Soulcalibur 5, because every time you leveled up, you got rewarded for it. I think that's the biggest turnoff for me in Libra of Souls. What's the reward? What are you doing outside of fighting the same tedious battles over and over again with some varying difficulty? Yeah, there's not much of a purpose. Even the story doesn't lend itself to thralling you in, because it's like, oh, here's like a mysterious temple and the cult's like worshipping something. Now let's fight like 8 generic cult members in a row and like 3 lizards, and you're like, what happened? Like, it didn't accomplish anything. It wasn't part of the story. It didn't even like do anything. It was just like there to pad out the gameplay.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, that just the fact that you don't unlock anything. Because at first, when I started playing, when it was like you unlock weapons depending on like what you pick and stuff like that. You'll unlock like Sopatia's weapons or like Taki's weapons, and then like I was like, oh cool, we get new weapons, and I was like, oh, they're the same weapons we already have in the main game. Okay, never mind. I was wrong.
You don't even have a choice either. Like, once the store opens up, like, you just buy whatever weapon is available for your rank, like what character's level, and like it doesn't even tell you what the weapon is. Like, you're buying it and there's no like preview, so you might be getting like a weapon that you hate, but like it's your level, so you have to use it.
Yeah, I got really lucky because it just so happened to be Sophatia's weapons that I kept getting, so I was like, oh, okay, I actually have a weapon style that I'm good with, but, like, if I had gotten, like, just off the top of my head, Nightmare or Cervantes, I would be completely screwed, and I think that's another really big turnoff, because, not everybody can be efficient with certain characters. I know me personally, when it comes to Soulcalibur, I'm just a lot better at faster fighters, like Sophatia, Taki, they have more fluid combat system in comparison to like Siegfried, Cervantes, and them, who are a little bit more complicated to play. So if I had no choice but to play with those fighting styles, and I kept getting absolutely wrecked, I would not want to keep playing the game.
Yeah, because you have to wait until Chapter 2, because like once you get to Chapter 2, you unlock a store and you can buy whatever weapon you want. Well, not whatever, you can't, it's not every weapon, it's like one weapon of your level for the different characters. Like, they'll have a Grow weapon and a Nightmare weapon and a Taki weapon and all that, but that's not even until Chapter 2 that you can actually choose what weapon you get.
Yeah. But yeah, the gold system in that is just awful. The story is boring. I also feel like it drags on for way too long, because you can sit there and do a bunch of unnecessary battles that have nothing to do with traveling down the quote-unquote path of the story, just so that you actually earn enough gold to do it. And for the most part, most of the stages that I at least got to at a certain point in time were just like, this stage is slippery, or like, you can fall off the edge easier, which, those are cool, but I felt like if they were gonna do that, they should have just gone big or gone home and done it more like the old Soulcalibur games used to do, where like you had a very specific thing that you had to do to progress through each one, but do it in a way where like you're playing as a character you're actually comfortable with.
No, I totally agree. It's the limitations in it are ridiculous, and if they even gave us unlockables that were only exclusive to that mode, it would give us more incentive to actually play it. But you're basically creating a character, and like you're along for the ride of Grow's story, and your evil and good like meter only matters for the end of Libra of Souls. It depends on like when you reach your hand to the void what weapon you get. Do you get Soulcalibur or Soul Edge, and it's dependent on those choices. But some of those choices don't even like fall into an evil or good category. One will be like, oh, Grow left, do you follow him or stay here? Stay here. Oh, that's evil. Like, what? That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, okay, what answer, like, what am I going to become? Because it doesn't do a very good job of, like, telling you what path it'll lead you down. And like I stated before, like, them doing that would have made a lot more sense if, like, you getting that end-game weapon actually counted for something. But the fact that it doesn't kind of makes it useless. I feel like the best way that they could have gone about Libra of Souls is if they kind of combined Libra of Souls with the story mode of each character.
Yeah.
And had it where, like, you play Taki, and the further you progress, you unlock more weapons for Taki, and maybe you unlock, like, old outfits for Taki, or, like, outfits that are associated with Taki, like ninja type, like, outfits, like, for instance, this was actually an outfit set that I forgot to mention in our previous video, the Tiger Lily set.
Right.
The Tiger Lily set has been in Soulcalibur for a long time, like, as I can remember, since 4. It's a really, really cool, like, female kind of, like, samurai set. It's very, very Japanese oriented.
I think it was in 3 also.
Yeah, I think so too. That would be a good set to give, like, to Taki, like, so, like, you win the battle, you unlock that creation item, and maybe a weapon. Like, it would have given more incentive for people to play, and it would have made it, the whole DLC, feel less like a cop-out. Like, I've said this, I think, before in a previous video, but I think that if Soulcalibur 6 had at least started with a little bit more than what it did, like, maybe half of the items from 5 instead of literally barely anything from 5, people would have paid for the DLC, like, no problem. Because if the game had started with the amount of items that 5 started with, and then everything else we got would be extra, I know me personally, I would be more willing to cop up the cash for more items versus them like, oh, here's like barely even 200 items, you want the rest, you gotta pay more.
And it's like a superficial 200 also, because it's like locked behind races and genders. So it's like, oh, we're giving you 200 like items, but you have to use literally every character in order to utilize those costume pieces, and I think that's ridiculous. On top of the fact that, like...
Yeah, I did the math, and, like, after Season Pass 1, the females got almost, like, 150 creation items, the males got, like, 40.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And, like, even if they kept that stuff singularly to Libra of Souls to give us some incentive to play, it'd be fine. Like, the choices aren't even fun, though, like we were just talking about. It's like, do you want to go or do you want to stay? It's like, oh, at least make it fun, like, oh, Sungmina's training. You go up to her and you bow and you say, like, Annyeonghaseyo, there you go, that's your good. Or you run up and you motorboat her and that's your evil. Like, you know what I mean? Like give us something at least fun. But it's a snore fest. Like, you're reading walls and walls and walls of text with, like, pictures that aren't even changing. Like, oh, you hear footsteps clopping around and, like, her mouth changes. It's ridiculous, like, the low effort that's put into it. Like, at least give us some more cinematics, like, not just one per chapter. Like, engage us a little bit, because nobody's gonna sit there while they're playing and read a book. I'm sorry. Like, it's fine for certain modes, like the singular character stories, and they would be more incentivized if, like, like you said, if they merged the stories with Libra, depending on what character you chose, so you unlock more about them. And here's a novel idea. Bring back the weapon mode, where, like, the weapon museum mode, where you can, like, see them, like, doing the weapons demos with the different weapons. Maybe that can be an unlockable.
Yeah. That's, like, a whole other thing, too, that people have barely talked about, is just how piss poor the museum mode is. Like, I've forgotten that it's even in the game.
Me too.
It's literally, like, nothing. Nothing is really there to go to look at.
It's just, like, unlock cinemas and music from the past games. That's pretty much it.
Which, if that's the case, like the music is cool, and I know that some people are probably excited about it, but for me personally, it's
I
like,
use custom soundtracks,
actually,
so...
Yeah, and that too, and then also, like, I have some of the actual original Soul Blade music in my Soulcalibur videos for my intros and outros, so it's like, listening to the songs from previous games isn't that exciting to me, because I could just go and play those games if I really wanted to listen to those soundtracks.
Plus, we get the soundtracks with all the special editions, so it's not like we don't have them. Like, we probably, you and I together, own most of the music.
Yeah. Another thing, too, this is a little bit outside of Libra of Souls, but in a way kind of has something to do with it. Another thing, too, that I've noticed, if you look back at older Soulcalibur games, a lot of the extra modes had special stages dedicated to those modes. But when you look at Soulcalibur 6, not only are the stages just piss poor in comparison, but there are very, very few of them, and there's really nothing unique about Libra of Souls. Like, they could have added in unique stages. They wouldn't have to be extravagant, but they could have been something different than what we normally see in arcade mode. I was just thinking back to, like, Soulcalibur 4, the stage where you're in a cage that's, like, hanging in the air. And
that was cool, yeah.
You have to kick people into the stage in order to actually get that ring out on somebody. There's no stage like that at all in this Soulcalibur, and that's been a staple in the Soulcalibur series for a long time. Having, like, enclosed stages, or having really extravagant surroundings in the stages, like, just thinking back to the Egyptian stages from Soulcalibur 2. And then I think the Egyptian stage, quote-unquote, is supposed to be that just sandy, floating arena thing that just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in Soulcalibur 6. I think what's really irritated me too is the fact that they're just now finally coming out with stages for Season Pass 2, and I'm just wondering why they couldn't have done that in Season Pass 1. At the very least for Cassandra, Amy, and Tira.
Yeah, like, we basically only got it for Halmaru, and that's a little bit ridiculous. Like, besides that, like, I know we're, like, moving off of Libra of Souls and trying to kind of turn this into, like, just a general topic about things that we don't like about Soulcalibur and want them to change. But it, like, needs to be said, because it's so released so bare bones, and they've given us, like, scraps for DLC, but expecting us to pay premium prices for things that we've already paid for in the past, by the way, that it just, like, it really turns you off towards wanting to do anything outside of playing with your friends online.
Yeah, and on top of that, to add to the online, I feel like the online has been handled very poorly in comparison to Soulcalibur 5. It's just the fact of casual matches and the way they work. it's not good, I feel, for new players. And I do feel like a lot of new players are playing Soulcalibur 6, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's good. We want new players playing Soulcalibur, but I feel like they're missing out on so many things, and also it's just not fair because they don't really know what's going on. Because in Soulcalibur 5, you could actually look for a lobby. It was actually better for beginner players because you could find fellow beginner players who just wanted to play for fun or wanted to just practice and learn together. And now it's just kind of like you queue up for a casual match, and if you have no friends, you can get thrown into a try-hard match where you fight a Keelik that just never lets you get off the ground.
Yeah, or a Maxi that infinite combos you out of the ring. It's like they stick you up against anybody, and there's no accounting for level matching, so there's no balance to it, because you can be a beginner player with like no rank points online, and you're going up against like an esports player. Like they literally go ahead.
I actually had a match when Hilda came out. I had played ranked in a long time, and I practiced Hilda. I was like, okay, I think I got her down. She does a little bit better than I think she was in Soulcalibur 4 and 5, so I played her. And they literally, I took a screenshot, I'll have to find that. They literally put me up against the S-tier #1 Siegfried player. And I wasn't even ranked as Hilda.
That's fun.
Yeah, I got raped. just to say the least. I was just kind of like, well, this is going to be fun. And, you know, it could have been one of those things where, like, maybe if I tried, I could have beat him. But in the eyes of that Siegfried player, there was no way he was going to let me beat him, because he was going up against me because he was losing too much, so they had to throw him a bone. And to me, that's not really fair, because in Soulcalibur 5, you could either choose to go ahead and just fight anybody, you had that choice, but you also had the choice to fight somebody around
similar level.
Rank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might take longer, but the option was there, and I would rather have a fair fight than fight a match that I know I'm gonna lose no matter what.
It honestly makes me not want to. I avoid ranked on like most games because of that, but Soulcalibur in particular, like I usually just play casual or with friends.
Yeah, I attempted playing ranked, but yeah, that didn't last very long. I actually think I made it to D rank in Soulcalibur 5, and I was just kind of having fun, you know, just testing my mettle. But in Soulcalibur 6, I just find myself more often than not just getting like turned off, because it just keeps putting me up against people that are way above my level.
Yeah, and I don't want to cheese either. I don't want to just like keep spamming attacks. And the reason I hate reversal edge is because of that too, because they'll just constantly spam reversal edge at you with no effect on them. And it's like, I'm not sitting here like just to play a rock paper scissors game. Like I want to fight using the system. But
yeah, and I think that's another thing I've seen people comment on my channel saying that a lot of people feel like reversal edge is something that's also really damaged the integrity of this game.
It's a piece of piling shit. I hate it.
Yeah, because people, I think, already, I personally like them for my creation purposes, for like showcase purposes, but I think for a long time now people have already been getting sick of critical edges and stuff like that, because in reality those can also be kind of looked at as cheese for certain characters.
But at least you have to build up meter for that. Like, reversal edge requires no meter, you just press R1. And in some characters, it's baked into their combo strings. Like, I can't use Mitsurugi anymore because his basic square, 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 square triangle has reversal edge just mixed into it, so you can't even finish the combo.
Yeah, and that's another reason I couldn't play Mitsurugi, because I unbound reversal edge to my triggers, like, immediately, because I have a specific setup anyways. Like, I'm not going to be using that in the match, no thank you. But yeah, I think Tira is also another character that has it bound into her combos as well, and it's just, it just throws everything off when I do it, because there's no way of canceling it either, which I feel like there should be a way to just cancel it, but they don't give you that option.
Because even if you're winning, it's called reversal edge, right? You're supposed to reverse the tide of the battle with it, but they let you use it constantly. But then, like, if you do accidentally initiate it in a combo string that it's baked into, like, you're leaving yourself open for a random hit because it's rock, paper, scissors. So, like, you could be forfeiting a perfect, or, like, even the entire round when they start comboing you right after you're done, and it's not even your fault. It's not even like it's punishing you for using it. It's like you can't avoid using it.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that along with Libra of Souls and just a lack of all-round content in Soulcalibur 6 is a big reason why, yeah, it might have sold well in the devs' eyes, but I feel like Soulcalibur 6 could have sold a lot better. And like I said so many times in my other videos, I'm not a gamer, I'm not like a programmer. I don't know what all goes into everything. It could be way more expensive than what meets the eye, but I feel like they could have put a little bit more effort into it, especially, like you've said, with, like, promotions and backings and stuff like that. Geralt's on the cover of Soulcalibur 6. There's no way the #1 best-selling game that got Game of the Year didn't give them a decent budget to work with to give us just a little bit more than what they gave us with Soulcalibur 6.
I agree. I agree. It's and I heard mainly that they used the money that they actually gained from that for I'm talking about The Witcher. When they paid for that, it was going to go into the PS4 version of The Witcher 3 anyway, so it wasn't even like it was like a lot of money that they gave them for that. But my best friend is a software engineer that works in the video game industry, so I know a lot of, like, he tested Resident Evil 2 Remake before it came out, and he wrote some code for it. So I know a bunch of people that, like, actually are in the industry, and it's even has nothing to do with them. It's mainly Bandai Namco. It's Bandai Namco, Bandai Namco, Bandai Namco. They're the ones that have the ban hammer. They're the ones that, like, are on top of everything, and Project Soul doesn't even have much say over their own creation.
Yeah, and it's just a shame because I feel like I said, Soulcalibur 6 would have sold a lot better. I feel like they would have gotten a lot more money out of it if they just not even a lot, just a little bit, maybe like 50 more pieces. If they just given a little bit more to Libra of Souls, given us some extra game modes outside of just playing arcade, like time attack, survival,
Tower of Souls.
Something like that could have just upped the ante quite a bit.
Or the endless creator battle, like from 5, the endless card battle mode, where like you go up against like created characters from like all the world that people made. That was a fun mode. That's the only thing I played in 5.
Yeah, same with me. Because also that mode was really good for like if you were trying to rank your level up to unlock stuff. That was like the fastest way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like if the game just had a little bit more content when it originally came out, people would have been more willing to buy the DLC. And of course, a lot of people probably already bought the DLC because they hooked, line, and synced them with Tira being the first DLC character.
I agree. And I mean, we're not shitting on the game just because we hate it. We want to see it do better. And with that, guys, we're going to bring this video to a close. I want to thank you again for being on my channel and helping this video. Guys, make sure you go over to her channel and subscribe, and also a link to her channel will be in my description box, and check out the first part of this video that we already covered. And thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it. It was fun. And
yes, indeed.
And with that being said, guys, we're going to bring the video to a close, and as always, peace.